Hi everyone. So this is the second part of our 4-part series on enabling, and today we've got Eleanor, who's our head therapist here at East Coast Recovery. I'm Sonja, obviously, and here's Eleanor. Hi, Eleanor. Oh, sorry for the late intro. Yes, Eleanor's here today, and she's going to talk about enabling behaviour from the point of view of a therapist, someone trying to help people from a professional point who is suffering from the disease of addiction. So I just wanted to ask you the question, really, Eleanor. What do you think makes it difficult? What makes it difficult to be able to help people from a professional point of view who are being heavily enabled by other loved ones, family members, or loved ones? What would kind of make that difficult?
Okay, well, I guess right from the, I can't not start by saying that if someone is still in active addiction using substances, then it's really difficult to offer any support through therapy at all. So, right, I feel I have to say that. So if somebody is trying to care for a loved one who's drinking and using and is suffering from addiction and perhaps bringing them to therapy or paying for them to go to therapy while still supporting them with their drinking and using, then that's really going to not going to help in any way. We would always here at East Coast Recovery say that a client would need to be further through working their program before they would even consider coming into therapy. But saying that when we're talking about therapy, in the same way that when we're talking about the 12-step program, what we're talking about is change. Mm-hmm. We're talking about enabling change. And what we're trying to do is to sort of facilitate the client recognizing or getting to a point where staying the same is less attractive than making the changes. And while staying the same remains more attractive, why would anybody change? And that's the downside of enabling, is if we're making it attractive to stay the same by colluding with someone, by bailing somebody out constantly, by agreeing that the whole world is a terrible place,
covering up for them,
lying to the children, perhaps lying to the employer, lying to the rest of the family. What's happening is that we're just creating a much more comfortable space for somebody to be remaining in their pain. Mm-hmm. It's not until it becomes unbearable to stay in the pain that we're going to choose to change. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's that sense of I can show somebody the pathway. I can walk beside them towards that pathway. But if they don't see it as more attractive to come across and to begin those changes, it's very, very difficult, because we might be working in the therapy room on understanding, say, an unhealthy dynamic or an unhealthy behavior, and then they might go back and be told that it's not unhealthy at all, it's absolutely fine and nothing needs to change, that it's all going to be all right tomorrow because we're going to go shopping, or we're going to move house, or it's all going to be okay. And what happens is it then makes it very, very difficult for somebody to step across and make those uncomfortable changes, because the fear of, the greatest fear of all is losing what we've got, and being found out, losing what we've got. And so we need to know that what we have isn't worth keeping before we can ever step towards change.
And I think that's the important thing about being around other people in recovery, isn't it? To see kind of what's normal, what isn't normal, what's healthy, what isn't healthy. And I think that's the important thing about being around people in recovery.
Absolutely.
And I like the point that you made, Eleanor. Sorry, I like the point you made about making it more comfortable for somebody to remain where they are rather than taken away. Yesterday I spoke to Kelly about the plan Bs, and people often had plan Bs or the weak links in the family, and it doesn't mean that they're bad people or they're wrong or bad. It just means that they don't have the education or the information in which because everyone needs to make a change in these situations.
Absolutely. And it's really difficult in our current, the way things are set up in our, in our society, that we often medicalize things. We have a great obsession with diagnoses. We all want to be diagnosed with something, because I think it's because being unwell is really scary. And there's a kind of sense that if we can get a diagnosis, then that kind of feels like a makes us feel safe. Until we then realise that now what are we going to do about this? And I think again that's another one of the big issues for the therapists, is where we have these diagnoses that enable people to stay very unwell.
Yes.
I can't be better. I can't be well. I've got this diagnosis. And what's so heartbreaking about that is it's like being in a prison. It's like being completely trapped. And I think what people have to come to is that point where it's more attractive to drop the safety of the diagnosis.
It's like they give away the responsibility to someone else.
Yeah, and to pick up, and the fear of picking up that responsibility and saying, go on then, I'm gonna have a go. I'm gonna try and affect change. I want to make my life better. I want to be like them over there. They look like they're having a good life. And I'm going to take that massive brave step now. So we also have that sense of where many of us are with our loved ones, we're very protective of their diagnoses. Oh yes, but my child suffers from this, or my brother suffers from that, or
it's my
yeah. So we have to be, I think again, we have that sort of thing, we have to try and encourage the families and friends of those who suffer from these mental conditions to maybe just allow people to perhaps put those down and enable themselves to change and to no longer be defined by a diagnosis, because that's it's so negative and unhelpful in that way.
No, definitely. I like that. It's true, because as soon as they get the label for it, then they don't go any further. They don't make any effort to change themselves. It's like giving away responsibility. They don't take any responsibility. They don't realise, and it is hard. Recovery is difficult. My experience is recovery is hard, and we are very sensitive people. We are very distressed people. We don't cope with stress very well. But I do believe that it's about having a good network around you, good people around you to help guide you and influence you. And so thank you very much, Eleanor, for coming on this week. So this is the second part of our enabling videos. If anyone's got any questions or any comments, please put them in the box below. And we are going to be doing the third part of this series shortly. And then it's a 4-part series. We're going to be doing the third one. Then you'll see the fourth one. If anyone's got any comments, questions, please leave them in the box below. Thank you very much. Thank you, Eleanor.
Bye.